Hi guys, Tracy here, and I'm going to do a new scrap room tour with you guys because I never did get around to posting all of my last scrap room tour, and it seems kind of silly to be posting videos about a scrap room that isn't at all like that anymore. So I'm going to actually post this one, and it'll be instead of 4 like reasonable length ones, it'll probably be 1 or 2 really long ones, so sorry guys. But I did have a lot of requests for just like people asking me how I store things or where I keep things. I have changed around kind of like the outside of my room. Last time I talked a little bit about scrap room creep, which is where it kind of, your stuff starts creeping out into another room. So I've sort of redefined my space. Instead of my space just being in there, it's also kind of like over to here. And you might see Jetmax, that's actually my kids' stuff. So that doesn't count, guys, so don't hold that against me. We just bought the kids some Jetmax because they're craft, and it's not just crafts, it's like games and learning, and that kind of stuff was all like taking over, so it all fits nicely in there and it's easy for them to use. So and I have a nice TV up there which I got last year, so that was really nice, and my cameos right there. And now the last time I did a scrap room video, you guys, when I talked about craft room creep, I talked about it coming out this way too, and I had that table over there was here, but now I've kind of switched those 2 items, and this is not craft stuff, this is actually empty, and it's going to be probably moved, and then these toys right here will go around here, and this is all toys, so this is not my stuff anymore, this cabinet. So the only thing that I have is just my project life and my current scrapbook and my mini albums and cards, but this stuff will probably be moving soon, so I'm not counting that. So this is my scrap room from here over. Okay, so here I am in my silhouette cutting area, and I have my silhouette right here, and then I have my laptop right here, which I always leave kind of plugged in and ready to go. And I keep some silhouette cutting mats right there, and then the one that I'm currently using, I just kind of scooch it in behind this layout that hangs here. I hang my layouts on those 3M hooks. Just in page protectors, I just hang them sideways. I do my narrating down here, so those are my headphones and cords for the computer, and then here I just keep a little place that I can keep the little confetti cutout things from different cameo cuts that I don't want to throw away. I think I'm crazy keeping these, but they're just too pretty, and I thought someday I might do one of those confetti things or something. Now this is most of my scrap room. That's what it looks like. So it's a U-shaped. The main structure of it hasn't changed. My main workspace is over there, and then I have storage, punches and stuff. My alphabet storage is over there. And then I have my Jetmax, which is where I keep most of my stuff. And then I do have some stuff in the closet as well. So let's go on in and I'll show you where everything is. This is a very small space. I don't know how big it is. I'll put the measurements in the information section maybe. But it is a pretty small space. And so I've got everything crammed in here as efficiently as I possibly can. So I'm going to start over here. This is my die cutting area. If you've watched some of my other scrap room tours, this has not changed very much at all. So so yeah, in the Stampin' Up boxes down there, I just keep the Stampin' Up brown paper because I use that for a variety of different things. So it's all folded up neatly in there. I keep my Big Shot out and ready to use with the plates and everything. And then this is just where I keep some extra, these are plates for my Grand Caliber and some Cuttlebug plates that I held on to for running through the Grand Caliber for embossing with that one. And then I just have like remote controls for my TV and packing tape and scotch tape and cough drops and stuff. So it's just kind of like my scrap room junk drawer. And in here I keep, this is mostly Big Shot accessories, so these are my Cuttlebug folders, embossing folders. These are oversized plates and long plates, cutting plates. And this is my little junior type alphabet from Stampin' Up. I love this font. I'll show it again because I showed it on a recent video. It's perfect for project life and perfect for mini albums. That's what the font looks like. It's really nice. I love it. So I just keep that in there. And then in here, I keep my other, and this tray you can buy from Stampin' Up. And I just keep all of my Sizzix little, I don't have many, obviously, but I love these. These are the embosslets, which I love, 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 love. I have a couple of Cuttlebug dies too that I just keep in there too, just so they're all in one place. And then in here, I just keep my oversized adhesive. So I keep like my Xyron machines. I have spray adhesive back there, and then Mod Podge, which I don't know why I have because it doesn't work here. And then I keep my my Sizzix dies right here, and that's all that I have, so they all fit there. And this is just that Becky Higgins box with the page protectors, and that's an empty basket. And then here's where I keep kind of miscellaneous weird embellishments, mostly Stampin' Up embellishments, but also some of those Prima. I can't point because my hand is holding the tray, but just under that thing that moved are those Prima pebbles that I used to use for my glitzy blooms when I used to make them. And so lots and lots of brads sorted by color, and lots of Stampin' Up stuff in here, embellishments and stuff. And then in this little one right here, this little cube is where I just kind of keep extra kind of randomness stuff. I don't know where to keep my Twinkle Goosebumps. What are these called? Yeah, Twinkle Goosebumps. So I just shove them in here when I get them. My nestabilities are stored here on, and also just all of my thin dies are stored on these magnetic sheets that are adhered to chipboard. And so those are kind of all the sets that I have. I've got maybe 6 or 8 sets. And then I also have a set of these Stampin' Up ones that I never use. And then these are my embellishments. I've shown you these before. I keep them in these trays. And this is just kind of like mixed metal clips and pins and brads and stuff that are not colorful. For the most part, not colorful. And then in here, I keep all of my brads, like my great glazed brads and stuff. And I just cut pieces of the foam that the glazed brads come on and just stick them on there so that I can see them. I used to just kind of throw them all in one of the components, and you can never see them because they tend to go bottom up when you store them that way. So I took a bit of time to put them into these pieces of foam so that I can see what I've got at a glance, and I really like them like that. And then that's just packages of random stuff that I haven't, most of it goes somewhere else, but I haven't put it away. And then these are more random embellishments that either go someplace and I have to see, like I haven't put these into that thing in there yet, or like these, I don't even really have a place for these, so it's mostly kind of embellishments that have a bit of dimension that I don't know where to put, I put in there. So now this is my workspace, and just kind of trying to back up so you can see it from a distance. Now I try really hard to keep everything at arm's length and out where I can reach it, and so that's why I have this sort of like layers of storage right here. I have kind of like a back layer that faces that way, and then I have a front layer that also faces the same way. And at first I thought I was going to hate that, but I actually really like it, so I'll talk about it in a minute when I get closer to it. And then I have my embellishment center, which I'm using more and more for embellishments. It used to be for media, like I kept all my glimmer mist up there, and I kept all my inks and all my paints and all that kind of stuff. I do still keep my inks up there, but I've got lots of washi and lots of other embellishments up there too now. So let's talk about this. This is my newest addition, probably the last Jetmax that I can squeeze into this room. So I put it underneath of this, which I love, and you guys have seen me show before. And so what I love about this is that I can keep all of my most used stamps right here. It's such a narrow, not narrow, it's such a shallow drawer that I can just keep them right here. I I've been keeping my most used stamps, which aren't that many because I don't stamp all that much, but I'm trying to stamp more. And so I'm keeping some of my favorite stamps on this. It's just a Prismacolor coloring pencil tray, just the lid. And then these are some stamps that I just bought that I think I'm going to use a lot for Project Life because of all the numbers. So, and then these are some stamps that came in a kit. So those are kind of my stamps that I plan to use a lot, or that I am using a lot. And then these are my kind of like background stamps that I use a lot. I don't have a ton, but that's okay because I don't have room for a ton. And then I have to move my water bottle here. And then in here I keep my favorite wood mount stamps. So this, I'm making invitations soon, so my daughter picked this up at Michael's for really cheap, so I keep that here because I gotta remember to make those. And just some Hero Arts ones, and a couple of old ones that I've had for a long time that I want to remember to use. And so now when I push this in with one hand, it moves. Hang on, I gotta put you guys down. Okay, so again, I'm trying to use my stamps as much as I can, so I've got another assortment of packaged stamps here. I keep all of my clear mount stamps and unmounted, like cling mounted and even unmounted rubber stamps in here. And then these are just some packages of stamps that I have, like some Studio Calico stamps and MFT stamps that I just got recently. So this is kind of like for recent acquisitions and stamps that I'm trying to use more. So between these and this is kind of hopefully going to keep me stamping. I moved all my Glimmer Mist out of my main workspace and moved it all back there because I don't use it very often. So I didn't want to get rid of it yet, but I didn't need it out in the open. Then I have my bucket of bling and a couple of stamp accessories. I have my stickles right there. I don't use them all that often anymore, so I don't need them in my main workspace anymore. This is just where I keep some papers and stuff that I need for design teamwork and stuff. And then that's glitter and like flock and stuff like that. And then I keep my embossing tools and like my powder pal and that kind of stuff there. And then those Ziplocs are all embossing powders and UD. And oh, there's also glitter in one of those. I don't use much glitter, but then these are sponges and more sponges, and then those are markers, and I don't know what's in the other one. Hang on. I can't reach very well. Markers, and what's in this one? Stamped images. So this says adhesive. I do have to really stretch to get at these, and it's just kind of random extra adhesive and stuff that I need at an arm's length, like my staples and extra staples and glue gun sticks and that kind of thing. And then these are tags, like unfinished tags in little manila envelopes and stuff. And then down here is where I keep my masks, including a couple of die cut, like laser cut pieces of paper that I use as well. I have a lot of Crafters Workshop masks and stuff that I use for mixed media stuff. So that was quite a stretch. Okay, so this is where I keep my Project Life basket, and I can just bring this with me upstairs if I want, and if I do, it has almost everything in it that I need. Let me just pull up my chair so I can get closer. So it has, and also I keep things in it in boxes so that I can pull it out of there if I need. So if I'm doing a lot of markers and stuff, I can pull my whole assortment of all my favorite, mostly Lumocolor markers. Not Lumocolor, mostly Stettler. Lumocolor is a kind of Stettler. That's these ones. So then I have that in that box, and then this box has all like my Martha Stewart labels and just kind of like small-ish journaling labels and tags and stuff. And then also at the very, very bottom, hang on, I gotta take it out to show you this, is a bunch of, oh, I don't know what that refill thing is doing there, a bunch of paper clips. So, and then behind that is the Becky Higgins Cobalt Collection, and I've added a few things to it, like whenever I'm cutting off paper, if I have any 4x6s, I'll just round the corners and stick them in here. And then I have some of Becky's cards, but I also have some homemade cards and a book of smash tags and that kind of thing. And then these are things that like old stickers and stuff that I just want to use up in Project Life, so I got them here. So again, so that when I grab my basket, I've got an assortment of different things that I can use. I don't have to kind of then also go all through my scrap room and pick a bunch of other stuff. So I wanted it to be kind of self-contained, although it doesn't have any stamps or anything, but I don't always stamp on my Project Life. So anyways, so this is my main kind of working space. You guys probably recognize this terribly dirty mat. I keep my small alphabet sticker or stamps. These are mostly for Project Life, and so I have all these little ones from the dollar rack at Michael's, or maybe they're from the dollar store, I don't know, but I've got a bunch of those, so I just stamped a sample of them so I can have a sense of how big they are and stuff. And then I just got these at Michael's yesterday, and then I've had these for a long time, but I never use them, so I put them here, so I'll use them more, and same thing with that. So that's kind of like my small alpha stamping. And then I just got these at Michael's yesterday too, so I put them here so I can remember to use them. And then I keep some blocks and some stamp cleaner and my paper piercer, which I just keep in one of those foam things that brads come in. And my stamp cleaner and some neutral Stampin' Up! Stamps, or ink pads, and then some pens that I grab for frequently, like my white gel pen I just keep there. And then this thing here used to be totally overcrowded with glimmer mists, and now I just have the things I use a lot. So I have my Studio Calico, and I also have my homemade, this is paint and glimmer mist mixtures. And so I have neutrals up here and colors down there. That's how I have it organized. And I do have a couple of glimmer mists that I still use, mostly for making these, so I keep those there. Then right next to that is my Stampin' Up! Inks. I have the Brights, the Subtles, and the ink colors from this year. And then I just have a small assortment of the Stampin' Right markers. And then my baby wipes and my water bottle and my corner rounder. And so let's go back to this. So in this, I keep my inks on these two levels. So I have a bunch of distress inks. They're all fairly old. I haven't bought new distress inks in a long time because I got enough to get me through. I've got all the colors I need. And then these are kind of random other ink pads that I use a lot. So that's the one I use the most, which is the VersaFine. And then these are my StazOn. And I just put labels on them, but you can't see them because of the way that I store them. But anyways, I should have labeled them there like I did with those. And those are my Jenny Bolin ones, and I don't have many, but I love them. So every time I place an order someplace that sells them, I just add one to my cart. And so that's all I've got so far, but I'm getting Speckled Egg from someplace, and I think one other one. But anyways, so I'm waiting for those. And then I get one of these every time. Well, obviously I got more than one a couple of times, but my plan is to get one of these. These are the Prima chalk inks, and I really love them. They're awesome. This one is Brick Wall, not my favorite color, but so I have a little assortment of those. And then I keep my washi tape up here in those two kind of cubbies. And then these are my Memento Cat Eye inks, and I don't use these very often, but I do love this color. It's called London Fog, and it's a gray, so that one is on top for that reason. And then this is a little thing that I just bought. I just bought yesterday to keep my buttons in. So I have my Avalicious ones there, and then these ones are from that other place. I think it's called Buttons and Badges or something. Buttons and Badges and More. It's an Etsy shop anyways. So I have those. And then I keep all of my roller stamps. I have 4 of them right here. So I keep those right there. And I also keep a couple of needles for sewing on layouts. And then this is my old paper piercer. And then I have embossing powder there and there, and those wood veneer shapes right here. And then my personalized stamps are right here. It says, you know, stamped by Tracy and that sort of thing. I've got a couple of those from different Etsy shops. My paints, dabbers are there. My smooches are there. My Distress Crackle paint is there. I should really get rid of that. I never use it. Game pieces, and then just some decorative stuff. My sister gave me that Andy Warhol. So now here's the kind of midsection, and it's mostly dedicated to punch storage. I used to keep my Stampin' Up! Punches all separate, but I've recently moved them all in so that now similar shapes are together instead of manufacturers, because it didn't really make sense to have different manufacturers together. So yeah, I don't have like a million punches, but I have enough to get me by. What I'm missing is a 1-inch circle. Gets me every time. It's a common size in pattern paper, and I don't have a 1-inch circle, so I need one. Yeah, I keep my Studio Calico kit out and on the table right here, and I just keep it contained in this Becky Higgins in the lid to the page protectors. I keep all the paper in that, and then I keep the embellishments in these 2 trays, and then anything else that doesn't fit, I just put in this like vertical thing, storage thing. My smash book is there, I never use it. Circle cutter, little tiny punches. And then these are kind of like offcuts and extras and things that I made too many of, and I'm just kind of keeping, and you know, these are kind of like my little knick-knacky things that I grab for when I need a little something something on a layout. And so I keep my, oh, before I go over to this table, why don't I talk about what's under this table? So I've got my mini sewing machine. It's a Kenmore half size. It's awesome. I love it. I can grab it with one hand and put it right up on my workspace without even getting out of my chair. It's awesome. I leave it all threaded and plugged in and ready to go, so it's easy, easy, easy. This is where I keep my stamps, right in here in CD cases. And I have 2 drawers full. And then I keep my kind of like sewing accessories in here, and then this is just packaging for stamps that I haven't packaged yet. This is my Stampin' catalog type of thing. So whenever I get a new stamp, I either put the piece of plastic with the image on it in here, or I stamp the image, because some stamps don't come with that. So like there's my Hero Arts background polka dot stamp. And I have all my Stampin' Up! Stamps in the back, just cut out from the catalog, just so I can know what I have. Because I usually just use Stampin' Up! For cards. I don't use them for scrapbooking very much, so I didn't want them mixed in with my other ones. And then here's my Stampin' Up! Wood mount stamps. They're in there. This one doesn't fit, so it just kind of sticks out. And then these are my other wood mount stamps that I have that are really old. I don't really like them. And that I use for videotaping, so you don't need to know about that. It's for when I use my iPad. And this is my box that I spray on, and I keep 2 jugs of water just in case, because we don't have a sink down here. And then that's books that I get book paper from.